What we have here is a Caille Commercial, often misnamed as a Ben-Hur. It's actually a commercial circa 1940, depending who you ask. And what we're going to be doing on this video is replacing the veneer on here due to the damage of the original. Now you can see at the bottom it's got several cracks in the veneer. This is due to it being stored in a home environment over the years and the central heating drying out the wood, causing it to split and crack. Also, where the handle moves backwards and forwards, the play handle has cut a deep ridge in the front of the veneer and the actual cabinet itself, so we need to sand that down to get rid of that. On today's video we're going to be looking at a slight restoration on something similar to this. What we're going to look at, this here, the actual cabinet itself, often gets worn. What a lot of people tend to do when they have a machine that gets a bit tatty, they cover it in about 4 layers of lacquer to hide any blemishes and hold it together. Now the machine we're working on is not this one, it's over here. This one has been taken apart and you can see there's the internal workings. Here is the top and bottom of the unit and the chrome fittings, and we come to this, the actual cabinet itself. Now as you can see, what we've done here is spent a few hours actually stripping off layers and layers of varnish that have been put on over the years. Now the wood is in actually quite good condition, and what we're going to do is to put a veneer on this. We could just wood stain this, but what we're going to do is to add a new veneer cover to this, and this video is all about showing you how that process goes. This is what we're going to put onto the cabinet. This is a wood veneer. It's a very thin slice of wood that's actually been coated on the back with glue, and we're going to put this on, and it's done purely by ironing this on with a hot iron. Now when you're preparing the surface, make sure you get everything off. Now some people say you need to get it smooth. You don't need to use a fine grit. In fact, if you have it a slight rough, the glue can seep into that and it gives a much stronger bond. Veneer comes in 300mm widths. You can get them quite long, but it's the width that you need to worry about. Now 300 is not going to cover the whole of this frontage. We need to decide where would be the best place to have the join. Now looking down here, we know we're going to have a chrome fitting here. There'll be a chrome fitting around the top here. So if we have it so the join is along here, that way we've got the bare minimum showing. Always look for where the least amount of join can be seen. We've now cut 3 lengths of the wood veneer. As I said, it's got this glue on the back. We have cut them slightly longer, so make sure there is an overlap. So we're going to choose out of the 3 which is the best one for the frontage. The next thing is just lay it down roughly where it's going to go. So it's going to go there. I then want to choose out of these 2 which one of these edges matches up. Now the way you do this is just butt them up, and what we're looking for is when they're together, is there a pretty good match? So what you want to do is just to brush off any of the sawdust, just to make sure it's clean and dry on the wood. You need one of these. The only other piece of equipment you need, nothing technical, just a nice smooth piece of wood. And then we take the iron and just begin to gently, backwards and forwards, distribute the heat . We're now going to put on the second piece along here. Just butt it up against the first one. one of the things you need to make sure when you're ironing this is don't leave the iron on it too hot so it scorches the wood. It's only there to apply heat, just to melt the glue. So what we have at the moment is all of the veneer stuck onto the cabinet itself. The next thing we've got to do is to trim it up. When you try and join two pieces of veneer together, you often get a little bit of shrinkage when it cools down, ending up with a small gap. Now some people overlap these. The problem with that, you're always left with a little bump. You try and sand it down and it takes you back to where the glue is and it looks a bit messy. Some people may prefer that. I prefer to actually butt these up. When they cool down, there may be a little bit of shrinkage. You just cut a very thin slither of veneer and just push it in, iron it on, sand it down, it'll be invisible.